Hello, Mouse Planet. It's Alan Delinka. Nothing but technical issues on my side tonight. The countdown clock got eaten by something, and we had one of our guests lose internet. And well, thanks for being here. It's the Fun at Home show, number 27. I'll put that back on the screen one more time. I'm very happy you all could join us. We've got a very full show tonight. I've got Jeffrey Epstein in the green room who's going to talk D23 and all things Disney, and we're very happy Jeffrey's with us because Jeffrey's had some very good health news to follow his previously tweeted bad health news. So we'll have Jeffrey on in a few moments. Shelley is back to defend her champion as Jibe Time champ. I've got Steve Pernick in the green room. Hopefully his internet keeps working. He's going to join us. Should be a fun show. We're going to get to Jeffrey first, then we'll get to the news, then we'll get to Jibe Time. Everybody got it? Let's bring on Jeffrey. How come it didn't come up? There's Jeffrey.
Here
Jeffrey,
I am.
You can still hear me, right?
I can still. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. All right.
I love when a plan comes together.
My good. I mean, I've done this now 27 weeks in a row for Mouse Planet, and with the same platform, I've hosted another, 36 shows for people, and tonight it wins. This is the best night we've had yet.
Welcome to 2020.
Welcome to 2020. So how are you doing? Let's start out with your good news.
I'm good. I'm good. Yes. So I am healthy now for a month. So yes, Alan. I guess I'm going to. Alan, I thought you were going to say.
I'm more than happy to talk you through it, Jeffrey, if you like. Let's first start. Jeffrey is with Walt Disney Company. He is Director of Corporate Communications. Is that one of your many titles? Yes?
that is my title, in fact, yes.
And Jeffrey's been with us before, and I've gotten to know Jeffrey mostly thanks to D23 events when I've been invited by his team to come out and cover them. Although I think the first time I met Jeffrey was when we were exploring all of Disney Springs in that long trek a day or two before my first Destination D in 2016.
That was fun.
But earlier this summer, we reported after Jeffrey tweeted that Jeffrey had an early screening colonoscopy, which detected colon cancer. And Jeffrey's had surgery and is now been declared they got it all in surgery. And so we're happy to see you. And we're certainly grateful to have you back on the show.
Thank you. Well, it's great to be back on the show. And thank you. I can't say thanks enough to all the nice people. I feel like sometimes we think the internet is not always the friendliest place and can be full of some toxicity. And so I was a little nervous when I was going out on social and making that announcement, but the support from the Disney fan community was just unbelievable. So thanks to everyone. And Disney itself as a company was just incredibly supportive, everyone from my leaders to my peers and just my friends at the company. So very, very lucky. And it honestly was that positivity that really, really gave me strength, because I got to tell you, it was the scariest just weeks of my life. And I know I was very lucky because we caught it early. But I, again, can't say enough about early screening. I've become a big advocate for that. So right when I turned 50, I got it. Now the age is 45, but I'd already passed 45 when they said became 45. So I went.
Gosh, I hadn't heard that it became 45. But I had an even earlier screening myself because of a different medical issue where fortunately they found nothing when I was 40. So I was told to go back when I was 50, which I did.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, because it's something that's been very important to me, especially as of late. And again, thanks to you and all of the Diz Twitter and all the fans who really were just so positive and supportive.
And it's certainly nice that you're getting positive stuff on your feed, since you have a pinned item that reminds people that you're the good guy.
Yes. I'm the one who likes to enjoy the Disney magic and not. And I'm alive. These are two good things. So there we go.
Indeed. And so getting supportive social media is always great. And I've got to say to those of our Mouse Planet followers out there, generally speaking, we get mostly positive stuff follower-wise on Mouse Planet. We're very grateful for that, because I don't want to be one of those sites that has to weed through the garbage. It's much more fun seeing the positive stuff. Let's go to the positive stuff that D23's got coming up. The first one being the big announcement that you guys made about Expo being in 2022 and going to be discussing some of the early plans for celebrating the company's 100th, which I guess is in 23.
Yep. Hence D23. So see how that works out?
Right. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Although, wait, that's not the right. That's
what's
a
Brick or
different
Treat?
That's a competitor. That's Legoland. That's for Dave Kent, because he went out there
looks
for
fun,
us this week. He said it was a blast. My car was broken down, and I haven't yet been back to a park because I was also sick earlier this summer with some unknown mystery illness that the doctor said, well, you're already at home quarantining. You can just stay there, and that's what I did. Let's get.
As long as you're better now, Alan. That's
I believe that's
thing.
the case, and in the other good news department, I came home with my car today, so the car is doing okay as well.
So
let's get Hullabaloo. I don't think you had a graphic for Expo in the package you sent me. You guys did tweet it out, but Hullabaloo is obviously the next big event you guys are doing. What is Hullabaloo, and what should people know about it?
Well, the Halloween Hullabaloo kicked off. D23. It's our way of celebrating the Halloween season. And I mean, obviously, a lot of really fun stuff. The big centerpiece is coming up on Halloween itself when we do our first ever D23 Halloween Masquerade contest virtually. But we're going to be bringing back a couple of our very, very favorite judges, Ashley Eckstein and Yvette Nicole Brown, as well as a few others who we will be announcing very soon. And we had requested everyone submit their most creative costumes. We only had one category, all things Disney. So we kept it really broad. But the D23 team we got hundreds of submissions, and the team really poured over them. I got to be a part of one of the screening processes, the preliminary judging. The creativity of Disney fans is limitless, I should say.
Well, and Ashley Eckstein herself is super creative with her universe line of things. Does she come dressed when she judges, either virtually or when she's done it live?
Well, this is our first virtual one, so I don't know what she's going to wear for this one. But at the Expo
or if you did, you wouldn't tell me. So
we have not recorded it yet. But Ashley did come dressed as Alice in Wonderland, who's one of her favorite characters. She came to judge Masquerade last year at Expo dressed as Alice, and she and Yvette are just two of the loveliest humans that you could ever know, and they just bring so much joy to everything. So they're going to be great judges. It's going to be a very, very fun time. And of course, what would the contest be without a good prize? So there's a $500 Disney gift card up for grabs, and a couple of nice consolation prizes as well.
Has the deadline hit already for entry?
For submission, the deadline did hit. But there's sweepstakes every week coming up right now. We had a pin set. I think the pins did sell out. Chris Berry was saying he liked the Tink image, but that's the Tink and the Hatbox Ghost are both Kevin Kidney originals for those who are Disney fans. And we are going to be doing something very, very cool. I think in the current issue of Disney 23, we have a story about the Holiday Magic at the Disney Parks book, which one of the co-authors is Becky Klein, the of course fabulous director of the Walt Disney Archives, and she previews it in the magazine. But we're doing a book launch party. The book is divided into both Halloween and Christmas, so we're gonna do the Halloween part now, and Becky and others are going to be taking part in a very fun event. So that's going to be something that members that are Gold and Gold family members are going to be able to attend. So that's something really cool. And obviously, there's some just really fun Halloween content that we're resurfacing, and we've been doing these creepy classics videos. Christine Baum, who is part of the D23 team, fantastic, talented human being, and a descendant of Frank L. Baum. I want to make
of Wizard of Oz. Frank.
Of Wizard of Oz.
I think the L is first, and as a former Chicagoan, I've gone past the park, which is Oz Park, which is dedicated to him because of all the years he spent in Chicago in his lifetime.
Amazing. So Christine, it does a little introduction, because we created these sort of as like short 4 or 5 minute intros. So if you're going to watch the movies on Disney Plus, you get a little more framework for it. So Christine does a really fun introduction for Return to Oz. So that's something that we just released, and we've got some more coming, which are really cool. So a lot of fun for Halloween. We're very excited.
And if folks want to get a preview of just how fun Becky can be, she turns up on that prop show on Disney Plus, which I'm forgetting the title of.
Pop Culture, yeah.
Pop Culture. It was a lot of fun to see her pop up and talk about a number of the items in the archives. And certainly any number of times I've spoken to her, it's always been a joy.
She's so talented, so smart, and really just it's such an incredible. I mean, the archives is full of assets, but Becky may be one of the most precious that we have. That's for sure.
Well, and anybody who's as conscientious a keeper of the history it's got to be awesome. I mean, right? She has to know her stuff, and her passion for it is fantastic. And you mentioned, or did you mention? I've got here that you sent to me the. There we go.
The cover D23, yeah.
And is this the current issue, right? The fall issue?
The current fall issue. And we wanted to do something that really, 65 years ago, the first Disney theme park opened, we wanted to do something that celebrated that. So the issue is just this great standalone book full of stories about the theme park experience. And I love that cover that you're showing. It's Ricky de Los Angeles, who's a Disney artist, created that. There's so many little hidden gems in there, Dole Whips and Mickey Pretzels. It's adorable. The issue is terrific. I just lost one of my earbuds. There we go.
Like I said at the top, Jeffrey, nothing but technical issues tonight.
Exactly. I'm sorry about that. But it's a terrific issue. The D23 and Disney 23 teams are just I can't praise them enough. And this is, of course, given the current circumstances that we are all in, the issue was created all at home. So when I got the actual final issue, normally I can see it on a wall or we're holding it, but it's all, I'm just looking at it on a computer monitor. To get that issue and see how fantastic it is, Max Lark, Jen Chancellor, the entire team there who put that together, just so beautiful. I love getting to work on that with that team. It's just so much fun. And the issue is great. The photography is just so beautiful. And we did a Disney Springs story at the time. Disney Springs had just opened, and I had spent some time there. I think maybe, I can't remember if we talked about it or if I was just about to go. I spent a few days there because it was before the theme parks reopened at Disney World. And I spent a lot of time walking around, and it was so interesting. I really was able to absorb and appreciate a lot of the incredible details that the Imagineers put into Disney Springs. So we wrote a whole story about that, but really about the evolution from its early days as the Buena Vista shopping village, and how the orange bird was there. And now you can actually still see the orange bird today, and how there's those great nods to the past within there, as well as the whole evolution along the way. So it's a really fun story that I particularly love. But the photography, we have a great story about National Geographic has been to the park many times, and they've taken some of the most stunning pictures. And now that they're a part of the Walt Disney Company, we've been able to access those again in new ways. And it's just a great issue. The team is so talented.
That's got to be a heck of a treasure trove for the company, asset-wise, in terms of the photography of National Geographic. They've got amazing stuff. And I mean, and the work that they did with the Disney Plus folks to put out the Disney's Animal Kingdom special episodes, the 8 episodes, fantastic. I had the opportunity to preview it. I think the second one dropped this week, but I got to see all 8, and that's just stunning photography on top of the storytelling, which is amazing.
I love. I mean, two great things that go together: National Geographic and Disney's Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
That's a definite match there. Now, you also sent me, and I remember reading about it, and I can't remember where it was. You sent me the postcards from
the postcards. Yeah, those were, so we did a little bonus gift for our gold members who got the publication. These are 6 pieces of concept art from Walt Disney Imagineering, and we turned them into postcards. Justin Arthur, who is another incredibly talented person from the D23 team, worked with Walt Disney Imagineering and developed these. So a really nice gift that our members got that I actually have them. I think I have them right here. I do. I have them right here. I haven't opened them yet, even. I like to keep everything in the package. I'm one of those Disney fans. Hopefully some people out there can appreciate that.
Very neat. So you also host the D23 Podcasts. What's coming up there?
I don't. I am a co-host. I got to
All
give
right.
it up to my other hosts, Candace Valdez from Radio Disney and Sherry Alzira from Oh My Disney. We just hit our 1-year anniversary mark, which was cool. We have a whole new logo, a whole new look. It's really fun.
Is this the logo?
That is the new logo.
There we go.
Fun, eye-popping, love the colors. I'm a big blue and purple fan myself, so there you go. It's just been so much fun. It's great. Everyone, you, Alan, you, Adrian, you both know what a Disney fan I've been forever. So to get to express my Disney fandom on a weekly basis with those two incredible hosts and a special guest every week. I mean, we've gotten to interview so many cool people, obviously, people like Kenneth Branagh. Like, we had Sir Kenneth Branagh on the podcast. That's crazy to me. Kermit the Frog. I mean, that's crazy and amazing. And Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son, and of course, you know, I was lucky enough to have Bob Gurr on, and we had Bob Weiss with Leslie Iwerks talking about the Imagineering Store. We had Sharita Carter and Kevin Rafferty. It's just been so much fun doing that show, and I will give you guys are the first to know that tomorrow morning, our episode features Walt Disney World Ambassador Stephen Lim. He's talking a little bit about the holidays, Halloween at Magic Kingdom, some of the special things that guests can find there. And we really got him to go a little bit deeper because obviously D23, we know that we've got the deep fans. We know the fans they love the deep cuts. So we go a little bit deep. We talk about the bread service at Sanaa. That is how deep we go tomorrow in the episode.
And that's good stuff. I've had that. That's good stuff. Yeah.
Apparently they have it to go now. Did you know this? This was like something I just found out. And I'm planning to be there in November. So I'm like, all I may do is sit in the lobby of Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge and just eating the bread service all day long. It just sounds amazing to me.
And it's probably bring your own drums now, right? Because the drummers probably can't gather a crowd. So you gotta bring your own drum service.
BYOD.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the podcast has been so much fun. You can listen to it on obviously on D23.com, and it's also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and places like that. So it's been really fun. The team is great. Bruce Lom, who's one of the producers, Paul Preston, our editor. They're so great, and it's so much fun every week to get together with that group and record the show.
And leave it to the tech guys to solve all the tech problems that I was solving tonight on my own.
We have a joke. We actually did a blooper reel at our 1-year mark, and we joke how many times we say sorry, Paul, because Paul has to edit out all of our flubs.
And I was going to say, guy who works for let's see if I can get the thumb right. Guy who works for publicly traded company. Guy who works for Fansite. Couple of extra tools.
Trust me, I would not sound anywhere near as not terrible as I sound without Paul and Bruce's magic. They're fantastic, and it's they keep us on track.
And you told me last night in an email that an exhibition has reopened. Can you talk about it? Because I'm not up to speed on this current exhibit. I know I've seen a whole bunch of archives exhibits over the years. What is the current one celebrating the 50th? I'm sure it's amazing.
Yes, I was so happy to be able to be there when it opened, and then a few days after it was no longer there. Very brief, but and now it is back and open at the Bowers Museum in Santa Ana, which is such a gem of Orange County. I was unfamiliar with it until we began working with them. What a beautiful museum, and not just the Walt Disney Archives exhibit, which we can talk about in a second, but I mean, just gorgeous grounds and beautiful artwork. It's a beautiful building. If you have not been, they are back open. They're doing obviously socially, they're spacing people out so that they're social distancing, and they're doing time. Sorry,
I was going to ask you if it was you were about to answer my question as I was asking you. I was going to say, are they doing timed entry?
They are doing timed entry. Especially for the archives exhibit. So this year is the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney Archives. Hopefully people know that, and if you don't, now you do. And the archives put together this unbelievable, just gorgeous exhibit that really highlights the breadth of their amazing collection. So you walk in, it's a bit based on an exhibit that they did in Japan that actually started at the D23 Expo Japan a few years ago, but they've really built it out. They've really added to it. It's just stunning. They have everything. You walk in, anyone who's been lucky enough to go to the Walt Disney Studio lot, or if you did one of our D23 member studio tours, you get to see the archives, and they have this beautiful front and in the Frank G. Wells building with all these windows, and they recreate that there at the Bowers Museum. It's beautiful. Then you walk in, they have Walt's office. Now, again, the Walt Disney Archives recreated, they put back into place Walt Disney's original office on the studio lot a few years ago, 2015. But when Saving Mr. Banks was being made, they wanted to have Walt Disney's office. So they went in and they replicated everything from Walt's original office to a T. And then after production wrapped, as they do with many of, with essentially all of our films, the Walt Disney Archives was able to have access to the props and assets that they wanted to take. So of course they took Walt's office. So now you can see a perfect replica of Walt Disney's office at the Bowers Museum. And then there's everything from Hitchhiking Ghost from Haunted Mansion, beautiful, beautiful costumes, everything from Disney favorites to things that you may not think of as Disney, like Pretty Woman, although definitely a Disney movie, but really fun costumes and vehicles. Some people, of course, know that we had acquired 21st Century Fox. And so now we have some of those assets. They have the car from Ford versus Ferrari in there. It is just an outstanding exhibit. They also have the contract, the original signed document that what we say established the Walt Disney Company with the Winklers. So from 1923, that little document that's going to be part of what we are celebrating at the D23 Expo in 2022.
And I got to say, I think the first traveling exhibition of D23 and archives I saw was at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago.
Right.
Probably about a decade or so ago, give or take.
It was a little less than a decade ago. Yeah, it was the Treasures of the Walt Disney Archives. We originally opened it at the Reagan here in California. And then, yeah, we moved it. And I got to go. I was at the opening for that exhibit in Chicago. I mean, what an incredible museum that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the exhibit at the Bowers was originally going to close this fall, but because of the pandemic and their closure, we extended it. We were able to work out a deal, and it's going to be there through the end of February of 2021. So you can, I believe it's bowers.org to get more info.
And is the exhibit? Do you know if the exhibit's included with regular admission, or is it a separately ticketed? Because you said it was timed. I was just wondering if it was also ticketed. I believe
it is a separate ticket.
Yeah.
That's an excellent question that I would need to Google at the moment, but I want to be here with you.
Our followers can go Google it.
There you go.
That's all I got for you, Jeffrey. What else? Anything else you want to share?
What else? I'm just, I'm happy to be here. I'm very excited. I'm planning, anyone who's going to the Bowers this weekend, I'm planning to go. Maybe say hi if you see me with my mask on. It looks like this, but with a mask.
You haven't done a photo mask with this part on your face? Of your face?
I've not done one of those yet. I have not. Those are very funny and also a little creepy too.
I created one. It's creepy. I haven't worn it publicly.
And then I'm going to go to Downtown Disney. I've been very happy. It's been, obviously, I think it's no surprise that our Disneyland's not open at the moment. So I've been going down every few weeks and really enjoying Downtown Disney and getting that little bit of pixie dust where I can. So I'm excited to see Stage 17. Hopefully I'll make it in there.
Well, I was just going to mention that Adrian mentioned that to me just before the show. She's tied up with her family tonight, but she said that Stage 17 was basically now the equivalent of a second World of Disney location at Downtown Disney now. So
I've seen pictures. It looks amazing, and I mean all your Halloween, it looks like literally all of Halloween is in there. So I can't wait to see.
Neat, very neat. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Jeffrey. I appreciate the time. I appreciate that you're still around and well.
Well, thank you. I'm very appreciative of those things as well. Thank you for having me. And on behalf of the D23 team, thank you so much. And thanks to all the Disney fans out there for all the support.
Great. Thanks so much, Jeffrey. Take care.
Great to see you, Alan.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So I shared the one bit of news that Adrian shared with me about something new opening at Disneyland, and that is Stage 17 Inside Disney California Adventure. That is the one place inside the parks that guests can go visit because it is now a new retail location, and it expands the ability to get people getting through downtown Disney. The negative news Adrian shared with me before the show was that the governor of California has said that theme parks are not a priority, which means that we don't really expect to have guidelines from the state of California anytime in the near future as to when the 2 Disney parks in Anaheim will get to reopen. Meanwhile, here in Florida, the parks are continuing to operate under their phased reopening with the Disney Pass system requiring reservations to go visit. Folks who've been to the parks have told me that there are now bigger crowds than before. I've seen photos of wait times that are longer. Now that my car is working and I'm healthy, I may finally get over there one of these days because we are almost into fall. Today was 90 degrees plus, but last week we had a day where we didn't even top 80. So when we get the right weather combination for me and health and car, I'm going to get myself over to the parks as well, see what's what. Today actually was the first time I drove through the resort. If you follow Mouse Planet on Instagram, you can see the first photo I've taken at Disney World in over 7 months. I took a photo of the Welcome Arch on World Drive as I drove back through property. Interesting to see the progress on the Walt Disney World Swan Reserve, the new tower formerly known as the Cove, being built next to the Swan and Dolphin Resort. Not my taste architecturally, didn't seem to go with the other Michael Graves buildings that are there. New architecture, obviously. It's not postmodern, it's probably just modern. It's a glass and steel structure that I thought was kind of odd looking, but it's not finished yet. Maybe it'll be even nicer when it's finished. I don't know how it's going to be viewed in the park. Maybe somebody who's been to the parks can tell us what it's looked like in the park. On the further negative news side, on top of the 25,000 jobs being eliminated Parks Division wide, or Parks Experiences and Consumer Products wide, this week it's come into more focus. WFTV Channel 9 here in Orlando was reporting that this afternoon Disney and the unions agreed on 8,800 union positions to be eliminated. That's in addition to the 6,000 plus non-union positions that were being eliminated. In both cases, they are weighted towards part-time, but not exclusively. Some of the benefits that the union members are getting include the priority of being rehired, and if they are rehired, they get to keep all of their seniority, and that is going to be on the table through October 2022. And I would expect that as park capacity increases, if and when we get past the pandemic, if things get closer back to normal travel-wise, you'll start to see more and more of those people rehired if they're still available. And unfortunately, theme parks are the main business here in Central Florida. So we're thinking about those folks. In the Walt Disney World update, we talked about the cast pantry and other options to help cast members. I've certainly said to my cast member friends, laid off or not, I'm happy to look at resumes, talk to them about interview skills, lend whatever hand I can in that respect. There are other ways to donate out west. Adrian covered those in Monday's Disneyland update. All of it's on MousePlanet.com. So I think I'm done talking about negative news. I think it's time, and I think this video should work. We've only had a ton of technical problems, but this one's been loaded for weeks. We're going to play some Jibe Time, and I'm going to put up the theme, and then I'll bring Shelley on. Hello, Shelley.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
And if I'd had graphics working, I should have. I mean, like I said, none of the videos worked tonight. But if I had graphics working, maybe I should have made a "This is the Shelley Caran show," because this is the second time we usually seem to have you on. I can't recall. Are we up to 5 weeks in a row here that you've won?
This is 5 weeks.
So,
that time with my
congratulations.
grandmother is really paying off.
Well, as I said to you, thanks for being a good sport, because I like having you back on. It's fun. It's fun to have a regular, and you've become our regular. You are certainly leading the pack in our non-Mouse Planet folks and having visited the show. So it's great to have you on. So welcome back. And I'm now going to bring up your competitor for the week. Your competitor is unfortunately not going to be Panda, because Panda had conflicts that are not worth talking about here. He's a good guy.
He's afraid. He didn't have conflicts. He was just afraid.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Maybe that's it. And, we got this.
Oh, God. You kind of got dark there.
So, all right. Well, let me bring on Dave Kent. Dave is one of my local friends who has been a frequent participant in the texts. Dave, how are you?
I'm fine. Apparently not smart enough to be afraid.
Well, many a times you've helped Shelley get points. So the goal today is to not help Shelley get points. And the reason I forced Dave onto the show today, it was the one graphic I accidentally showed in the pre-show, in the segment with Jeffrey. Dave was our representative this week at Brick or Treat over at Legoland. And we'll have Dave talk about that a little bit more during one of the breaks. We had some of his comments about it. And Shelley, did you go as well?
I did. I went on Saturday, and it was a really good time.
And
we were
Dave,
there
you
on
and Nan
Sunday.
had a good time, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So we'll talk more about Brick or Treat a little bit later. But Dave, thanks for joining us. Dave has been a good sport who I've sent several things in recent weeks and over the years that I've been here, because, hey, Dave is more than willing to go. But thanks for joining us, Dave. Let me bring on another special guest who I mentioned at the top of the show. We got Steve Pernick with us. Hopefully his internet is working. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm going to hit the ad stream button now. Steve, are you there?
Hey, I am.
Hey.
Smiling Broadway. Now he's saying, hey, I can hear him.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of
Slow
forehead.
connection, but I think he's there.
All right, are you hearing me at all?
Well, thanks for coming back, Steve. I am hearing you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just fine.
All right.
It's great on my end.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. We'll talk to you some more as the show goes forward. Hopefully your connection stays stable. Everybody keep an eye on Steve. But it's great to have Steve back. Long time entertainer, very talented guy, a lot of fun. We had Steve back on the show, months ago. Let me bring on from Getaway Today Travel, Aaron Greenwood, who has joined us to play our game again. Aaron, how are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Life you're in Utah, right?
Yes. Yep. In Utah.
How are things up that way?
They're all right.
Okay, fair enough. There's Getaway Today's website and phone number. What are you guys able to do these days? Florida's certainly open for booking. What's going on there?
It is, yep. So as you mentioned before, the Disneyland Resort is still kind of in limbo. So we are encouraging people, if they feel comfortable traveling, going to Orlando. There's so many fun things to do, like you mentioned, like Legoland, Brick or Treat. Universal Orlando has a lot of really awesome Halloween-themed haunted houses that they opened up. And then, of course, Walt Disney World is just an amazing place to visit right now. And we have an awesome special where if you travel in 2020, you can save up to $500 on your vacation package. So if anybody is interested at all, feel free to contact one of our travel experts, and we would love to help get you there.
Great. Thanks so much for coming back. I think we're going to have a blast having you play with us once again in the game. Let me find the right buttons to not disconnect anyone. There we go. Let's bring on our regular contributor, Chris Berry.
Yeah.
Chris, how are you doing?
All right. How are we all doing?
All good. Good.
I'm afraid of Shelley. in a fun way.
I was gonna say, and we'll give Shelley her champion moment in a moment again. But let me bring on the rest of the Mouse Planeteers. We have Todd Pickering, who's busy reading and studying, and I've joined the club, by the way. And, we've all got this club going because it's Lisa's book. And yes, I paid for my copy too. So
thanks,
yes,
Todd. I appreciate it.
We all did.
So Lisa, enjoy the 30 cents.
Thank you.
Hopefully it's at least 30 cents. Maybe it's only 3 cents. I don't know. What's publishing like these days?
It's a little more than that. It's a couple of bucks.
Okay, good.
She can
All right,
retire.
because I spent whatever Amazon price was, I paid it. So there you have it.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I think this was the fullest our house is getting this week, which is going to look like this. And we will put Shelley under the Mouse Planet logo where she belongs. She's got one ear, but we'll now give her her highlight moment, which involves me finding this button here. And, we'll put Roz on her shoulder just for good times, and we'll give her her Mike Wazowski moment.
She's on
Because
television.
that is the prize. Under the logo Adrian gave me and I designed.
All that for that.
It's a lot of work, believe me. And I put it in the wrong view. There we go. And we're going to take the banner off the screen now so that I can get that freed up. And now, since I said Dave is the competitor, we're going to put Dave in the competitor box.
Boom.
There we go. So I've already played the Jibe Time theme. And for folks who haven't been with us before, Jibe Time is a very, very easy game because there are no right answers. But Shelley seems to have a mystical way of jibing with people. In Jibe Time, I ask original.
How does she do it?
I don't know how she does it. She may be cheating. I mean, Panda thinks she's cheating. Each round of Jibe Time, I will ask Shelley and Dave separate questions from our Jibe Time 3024. I don't know. I keep changing the name. I will ask hypothetical Disney-related questions. The Jibetron?
Yes,
Jibetron. We'll stick with the Jibetron. Each round, I will ask hypothetical questions with a blank in them. The blank needs to be filled in by each of you out there in the audience, each of our panelists, and each of our players. And then we go through them and see who has jibed with our players for points. And I'm going to put it up on the screen. And hopefully that cooperates. I've actually made the font bigger on all the new questions this week, but I will show our usual previously as an example for folks. And Chris Berry, I think your mic is picking up you shuffling papers now, which means your mic has gotten even better this week.
Really? Sorry.
Yeah, I hear that in my ears real clearly.
Yes.
It's a good mic.
I was going to say my solution is this here. There we go. The sample question is, did you hear after all these years at Disneyland, Disney's lawyers finally got to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride when the park finally reopened? The new safer version will be Mr. Toad's Blank Ride. And we've had answers like socially distanced and mild, and I don't even remember all the wacky answers anymore, even though I read this every week. So, without further ado, if nobody has any questions, members of the audience, when you answer questions, it is very helpful to us if you put the question number with it. This one was X because it doesn't exist as a real question. But all the other questions, they're here in green. They have question numbers, and we'll call out question numbers before we ask them because, Shelley, as our returning champion, I will once again give you the opportunity to pick the first question. So, Shelley, you can see that I've now got questions up to 63 with gaps, obviously. Go ahead and pick our first question this week.
How about 58?
Number 58. She likes going for the middle. I should put the hardest one in the middle. If Shelley returns, note to self, put the hardest question in the middle. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
On my last visit, I was very disappointed by the new sign over the pool at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. It now says Baymax from Big Hero 6 may not be used as blank. On my last visit, I was very disappointed by the new sign over the pool at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. It now says that Baymax from Big Hero 6 may not be used as blank. Ready, everybody, write and jibe. Members of the audience, write and jibe. And I cannot believe the screen just did that obnoxious thing that it keeps doing to me. Here we go. Everybody write and jibe, please. All right. There was our first Jibe Time question of the week. Let me get that off the screen. And let us go back to the Jibetron for Dave Kent's first question of the game. Dave?
Yep.
What question would you like to pick from the Jibetron?
52.
Number 52. Here we go. Number 52. In Zootopia, anyone can become anything. Judy Hopps succeeded in becoming the first bunny cop. Sloths work at the DMV. Bambi's friend Flower, the skunk, is thinking of moving there so he can become blank. In Zootopia, anyone can become anything. Judy Hopps succeeded in becoming the first bunny cop. Sloths work at the DMV. Bambi's friend Flower, the skunk, is thinking of moving there so he can become blank. Ready, guys? Everybody right? And I did it again. I'm going to just... everybody write in Jibe, please. Somebody save me from myself. All right, there we have it. So we've got 2 questions in the first round. Dave and Shelley have recorded their answers. Our other panelists have recorded their answers. Let's see. I think Steve Pernick's connection has stabilized. So let me put Steve up on the screen. Steve, I see that you and the We Bring the Funny gang have been out doing some important socially distanced theatrics for folks. What have you guys been up to lately?
Yeah, well, it's a really nice thing that happens on Tuesdays and Fridays here in town. There's a group called GOPAR, which is an acronym for the Greater Orlando Performing Arts Relief, and they have an initiative called Feed the Need, where basically they're giving groceries and food. It's a food drive for out-of-work performing artists. There are so many actors, singers, dancers, people who work the dinner shows in town and the theme parks and theater, and everybody's hurting in that regard because we don't assemble and we don't have theater right now. So what we're doing is we're just working the line, doing atmosphere entertainment and being happy comedy. We have a band there and we have atmosphere performers. We're every Tuesday down at St. Luke's in Orlando, and it's a really, really good time.
And if folks are looking for We Bring the Funny, how can they find them these days?
Oh, you can find us at WeBringTheFunny.com or on our Facebook page, We Bring Funny. Come on, get in touch with us. We provide meeting entertainment, and when meetings start again, boy, are we positioned.
Well, when meetings do start again, there's probably going to be a lot of them, right? Everybody's going to be like, we need a meeting.
Right this very minute.
Exactly. All right, so I think we've given everyone enough time to write. I've got to unmute some mics here because I muted some people's mics. Some people's mics are muted on their own. All right, so let's go back to the Jibetron. I don't know. I got to find something that works for me. That one's just, I can't remember it, so it's not working for me. Let's go. Shelley asked number 58. We'll put that one up on the screen. And you may have heard in the background, one of my family members who's with me was shouting out, everybody's put the same answer, because I can hear him. I don't know if everybody else can hear him. So Shelley may get some points here. I don't know. We'll see if Shelley puts the answer that everybody's put. On my last visit, I was very disappointed by the new sign over at the pool at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. It now says that Baymax from Big Hero 6 may not be used as Shelley.
A float.
A float. All right. A float. Let's see what people in the audience put as the answer on number 58. We got a floating device. And Todd Pickering, you're keeping score again? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. There's a point for Shelley. I think Shelley earns points too easily, so I'm going to say Nan's raft does not match.
Nope.
I think that's fair.
In a more generous
That's
week,
fair. That's
in a
really
more generous
fair.
week, we might give her that, but not this week. Tim says flotation device. There's another point. Mary Stack says flotation device. Stephanie M says flotation device. And I swear I loaded these questions in randomly. My dad says flotation device. Eve says flotation device. I do not see any more on number 58, so I think we're pretty good there. Let's go to Chris Berry. What do you got, Chris?
I got the flotation device.
Flotation device from Mr. Chris Berry.
That's the one.
Todd Pickering, what do you got?
Flotation device.
Another flotation device. Steve Pernick, what do you got?
Well, you know, if you know me, I'm 12 years old. I wanted to say whoopee cushion, but instead I said
Flotation device. All right.
Wow.
Lisa, what did you say?
A floaty.
Another point for
Floaty.
Shelley.
Oh,
my-
it's like drawing.
Aaron,
Oh
Aaron,
my
what do you got?
gosh.
Full
A
float.
full float.
Oh my
and another
God.
point. And Dave, did you help Shelley and give her yet another point? There's another point.
Time to
I
go
should
home.
just concede now.
Yeah, it's over.
I don't know how Shelley always picks the easy questions. Although I got to say, I think Dave might have a chance on his. We'll see. Let's go to Dave's question. I got to get the Jumbotron here. Number 52 is Dave's question. Dave's question was, in Zootopia, anyone can become anything. Judy Hopps succeeded in becoming the first bunny cop. Sloths work at the DMV. Bambi's friend Flower, the skunk, is thinking of moving there, so he can become... And I got to find Dave's button because Dave is hiding from me since he was having internet problems. There's Dave. Dave, how do you fill the blank? A florist. Okay.
Flower.
There's
Flower
a nice
of the
answer.
florist.
And let's see what we've got from the followers here. We got a congressperson. All right. A little too
He's a-
political for us.
He's a skunk.
We got a perfumer from my father. We got another perfumer from your wife. We've got skunk butt rug, whatever that might be.
I don't know
And
what
we
that
got
means.
another
Nicely
perfumer
done.
from Tim Ellison. So far we got nada for Mr. Kent. Let's see what we got. Mr. Pickering, you're next on my row here. What do you got?
Flowers of florist.
There we go. There's a point. Give
Oh, who's doing that? That's
a
me.
point. All right. Steve Pernick, what do you got?
well, I said a perfume counter girl.
All right.
Whoa.
Lisa Stiglick, what do you got?
Perfumer.
Perfumer.
I had to look it up. I know what they were called. They're just
Aaron, what do you
perfume.
got?
Florist.
Another florist. So they've got
Flower.
another point. Awesome. Chris Berry, what do you got?
I said that flower was going to be sensational.
Ah.
That's a
And
dumb
Shelley,
answer.
What did you give us?
A florist.
Hey, another point for Dave.
All right, see, it's a battle now.
It's a battle. It's a
Well.
round. So at the end of the first
Really.
round, Todd Pickering, what is our score?
Shelley's got 12 and Dave's got 3.
12?
Yeah. A lot of people
Wow.
answered
Yeah,
out of the gang.
flotation device.
Yeah. Out
And
of
if
I
you-
got lucky on that question.
And
That's
how many
totally got lucky.
how many said perfumer? If he'd only said perfumer,
humor was about,
you weren't keeping track. I'm sorry.
I wasn't keeping, but about
That's on the
7,
spot.
I think, on that
All
one.
right. All right. So Dave, let's see if you can make up some ground. I think there's one or two in there that might help you make up ground because the rest of them, Shelley's not scoring any points on. No more points for
done.
Shelley.
None.
Lots of laughs for people, but no more points for Shelley.
No more.
But Dave, find the other good one in there. Let me get it back on the screen. What would you like, Dave?
Oh, I get to pick? 61.
Number 61. Here we go. Number 61. Even after having survived the nightmare he caused visiting Christmastown a few years later, Jack Skellington decided to explore Valentine's Day Land behind that door in the forest with a big red heart on it. As you might have guessed, things didn't go so well as Jack hoped once again. What's this? Yes, that year, Sally didn't receive a heart-shaped box of candy from Jack. She received blank. So I'm just going to jump to the end here. The year that Jack visited Valentine's Day Land behind the door with the big red heart, Sally didn't receive a heart-shaped box of candy from Jack. She received blank. Everybody write and jibe, please, on number 61. Alrighty, there's number 61 for Mr. Dave Kent. Let's go back to Shelley. And let's put up the question engine, which seems to be the name I keep calling it. The Jibe question engine.
The questionator.
The questionator. Shelley, what number would you like?
Doctor.
How about 56?
Number 56. Number 56. Miss Piggy objects to the menu at the newly opened Regal Eagle Smokehouse at Epcot's The American Adventure Pavilion. It fails to include blank. Miss Piggy objects to the menu at the newly opened Regal Eagle Smokehouse at Epcot's The American Adventure Pavilion. It fails to include blank. And let us write and jibe on number 56. What are you thinking, Shelley? Can you think what our audience is thinking? All right, there we go. There's the next round for you. I'm going to go to Mr. Dave Kent because, like I said, the reason he's here is he's paying for his supper. He's got to talk about his day at Legoland. So, Dave, why don't you talk about that? I'm going to grab that screenshot and put that back on the screen here. I will try to do that here. Where did it go? That would be this button and this button and then this button. And I thought these were some of the most interesting photos you took since the Brick or Trick Treat event has its own mural that is not unlike Disney's Paint by Number at the Festival of the Arts, but it's a brick by number.
So that is going to be the final image, and they've actually added to it on the left and the right. But as you go up to it, you can pick a little baggie full of pieces with a little background, and they hand that to you all hermetically sealed.
Let's
and
see, I think you gave me that. Well, you
yeah,
gave me
so you can put together. Nan and I picked a couple of pieces, and then it shows what number they are on the back of the little platform, and then you put it together and hand it back. And mine was number 53, and they call their version of cast member, their employees are model citizens, and there she's putting it in the slot 53. And so apparently, yeah, so they come like that, and you put them all together, and eventually you'll be able, I think, to sign on and see what the finished thing is going to be.
That's
And
cool.
so, go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, you can see mostly at the very far right end of the panel there is a pumpkin that doesn't appear on the original postcard that they did, but they've added to it. You can sort of see Frankenstein's head taking shape there. But that was kind of a fun thing to do. I didn't take any shots of it because it wasn't necessarily Halloween based, but they did have a little place where I think they gave you a whole bunch of random Legos and you tried to build something out of it. But we had a very good time. We're really into Legos and have a whole curio cabinet, full of them with a changing display on the top. So it's got Moana stuff now on it. And they had an amazing, can you call up the picture of that hearse? They have a hearse that had 28,000 bricks in it and took over 2,400 hours to put together. And it was life size. And they also had a couple of other large kind of sculptures that they made, a large ghost and some other things. And as you wander around the park, just not related to Halloween, they have huge sculptures going, a life-size Mustang. But they also had a couple of stage shows. One was indoors. When you went indoors, you had to wear a mask. When you were outdoors, masks were optional, but we found it was fairly easy. There's the hearse. And I had a close-up of the skeleton that's driving it. That thing is pretty amazing. They have other things like that, a large ghost just hanging around.
I thought I saw the close-up in this batch, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not coming up as I'm clicking through here.
Right. That's another thing. There's the driver.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I know it's incredible. And just for anyone, I guess, that likes to go to Legoland, they have their whole little mini city. Not much to do with Halloween, but just some incredible, sculptures and buildings and interactive things. You push a little button. There's a pier extending over some water, and you push a little button. A little mermaid raises up, and a little shark raises up on the other side. It was kind of cool. Then we, of course, had to push some other button. We didn't know what it did, and it squirted Nan with water from a little fire hose. So that was a nice surprise. Yeah,
nice. So I put the Gametron back in, or Jibatron, or whatever you guys want to call it. The Brick or Treat I know is included with admission on October weekends and Halloween, right?
Yeah,
and
I believe so.
It includes the Brick or Treat entertainment. There were candy stations. We'll show those in a later break. The candy's done through socially distanced tubes.
Yeah.
And
Shelley, did you go to any of the shows? Did you go to either of the shows?
I
really like the indoor one.
The Grooving Graveyard? Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
For anyone that's been to see the Jamators at Disney, or back in the day when Stomp was a Broadway show, this was much to do like that. They had these grave diggers that got out their shovels and were pounding the shovels on the ground, and then drumming on the side of the blade. It was pretty good.
Cool.
It was awesome.
Well, let's go to your question. You had number 61?
Yes.
All right, so let me put number 61 back on the screen here. Number 61, I'll read all of it once again. Even after having survived the nightmare he caused visiting Christmastown, a few years later, Jack Skellington decided to explore Valentine's Day land beyond that door in the forest with a big red heart on it. As you might have guessed, things didn't go as well as Jack hoped once again. What's this? Yes, that year, Sally didn't receive a heart-shaped box of candy from Jack. She received what, Dave? A box of spiders.
Oh,
right. That sounds like Jack Skellington. Let's see what we've got from the folks at home. We got a couple of different boxes. I see a box of bones from Tim Ellison. I see a beating heart from your wife. A pile of bones. I see a real heart. I see a heart-shaped box of bleeding here. Not sure what that is.
Hearts
lost the T.
Oh, it's a T? Okay.
Just
number
omitted the T.
61. Number 61. You've got the number wrong, but he's got the right question here. Bones. A heart-shaped box of bleeding hearts. But I'm not seeing anything else on number 61. All right. What do we got, Shelley? Oops, wrong button now, and don't hit that one. Hit this one. There you go. What do you got, Shelley?
I put a real heart.
A real heart?
Oh.
That's good.
Chris Berry?
I don't know what this would be, but it's just it's a box of death.
There's creepy for you. Creepy.
You only open it once.
I was going to say, I think Todd Pickering has something to say about an answer like that.
That's a little creepy, don't you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Todd Pickering?
Well, this is 2 for 2 on matching Dave Kent. A box of chocolate-covered spiders.
There's another point for Dave. Nice going.
Artistic.
See, Pernick, what do you got?
I'm thinking like Chris Berry. I said a funeral.
All right. Of course, Jack himself is already dead. Lisa, what do you got?
That's true.
I have bones as well.
Bones. Aaron, what do you got?
Bones.
The dead flowers.
All right. Did I miss anyone? So I think I got everybody in our green room. I think that's the end of Dave's opportunities to jibe in this round. Let's go to Shelley. Shelley, you wanted question
56.
56. Somebody's got a nice tone in the background. Number 56 was Miss Piggy objects to the the menu at the newly opened Regal Eagle Smokehouse at Epcot's The American Adventure. It fails to include what, Peggy? Who's Peggy?
Peggy.
I've been watching too much Mad Men.
Peggy wins.
It fails to include what, Shelley?
I got a little dark on this one. Frog leg?
Frog legs, okay.
Oh, God. You kind of got dark there.
It did. It got a little dark.
Indeed. What do we got from our audience?
Well, they serve barbecue.
Tim Ellison agrees with you. What else we got? Let me make sure I didn't miss one up top there. Number 56, we got slop.
Slop.
That's good.
Nan Kent agrees with you on frog legs. Stephanie agrees with you on frog legs. Gosh, I was wrong. Shelley just keeps racking up those points. Chris Berry, what do you got?
Yeah, I got the frog's legs.
Frog's legs, all right. Todd Pickering, what do you got?
Yeah, I thought that answer would be too dark. I felt bad writing it, but I did. It's Halloween.
It's a little weird.
Aaron, what do you got? Aaron?
I also
Frog.
Oh, wow.
God. Lisa, what do you got?
Poor Kermie.
Oh, my goodness. Steve Pernick, what do you got?
I was going to say Mickey-shaped waffles, but I went with frog's leg.
Wow. Dave, what do you got?
Dave's going to go home.
Honey baked ham.
Honey baked ham.
Dave,
That is creepy.
You are actually closer to the thought I had. You know, Miss Piggy's always upset when she's not included. And they do include pork on the menu. So I thought, somebody would have given us moi, right? Since that's Piggy's favorite word. But no moi. I wouldn't have jibed with anyone in that round. All right. I'm not even going to ask for the score. Shelley wins. Let's go to another question, Dave. Go ahead and pick something. Let me put them back on the screen. Dave, pick our next. And this will be our last round because we went with Jeffrey for about a half an hour. We're at the hour mark now. So let's take our final round. Go ahead.
63.
Number 63.
Okay.
All right. Legend says that Walt Disney originally wanted to name Mickey Mouse Mortimer. OhMyDisney.com says Mortimer later became the name of one of Mickey's rivals. Makes me wonder if Princess Anna's first love, Prince Hans, who, spoiler alert, turns out to be Frozen's bad guy, was the original name considered for blank. Who might Prince Hans have been the original name for? And remember, there's no right answers. There's just answers that will jibe with Dave's. So everybody try to think like Dave as we write and jibe on question number 63.
Think like Dave.
Think like Dave. Dave, get your thoughts transmitted out there. Man, think like Dave. Dave. Think like Dave. Give Dave's answer.
I got nothing.
Prince Hans. If you can't guess anything, say Howard Cosell.
Howard Cosell, yeah.
All right, there's Dave's question for this round. And Shelley, let me get the game questions back on the screen. Your final question, maybe the final question in this program ever. We shall see.
Where are we going?
What do you want, Shelley? This could be the final question. I don't know. Let's get the drum rolling. There's lots left over in the Gametron here.
43.
Number 43 for Shelley. Number 43. Rumor has it that Lin-Manuel Miranda is collaborating with Alan Menken on a new live stage musical based on Walt Disney's classic film adaptation of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Blank, a musical voyage, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is its working title. It's certainly not Oklahoma this week. Rumor has it that Lin-Manuel Miranda is collaborating with Alan Menken on a new live stage musical based on Walt Disney's classic film adaptation of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Blank, a musical voyage, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is its working title. Let's write and jibe on number 43, shall we?
Wow.
What would be that one or couple word title in front of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea that Alan Menken and Lin-Manuel Miranda would come up with? All right. All right. Well, this is the point in the show, although I did promise I'd show off the remote candy. So let me bring that on the screen. Dave, talk about the experience of how you would find the various candy stations around the park when you went to Brick or Treat, as I go grab those photos and put them up here on the screen. Uh-oh. Dave is just frozen on the screen. Is anybody hearing me or Dave?
I hear you.
We hear
All
you.
right.
I hear you.
Dave is frozen.
Dave is gone. Oh no, his internet may be
we're
gone
losing him.
again.
Halloween.
Shelley did it.
I was going to say Shelley has sabotaged her competition for the final time.
That's a hard one.
That
anyway.
apple cash went right through.
Oh my goodness. Poor Dave. Let me see if I can grab the photos real quick here that he shared with us. Shelley, you probably experienced the candy. What was that like?
I did. So this year, instead of having a trick-or-treat area, they did what they called neighborhood-style trick-or-treating. So at a couple of locations throughout the park, you could take a Legoland bag that they provided, place it on the end of the chute, and the model citizen who was dressed up to match the neighborhood that they were in would put a couple pieces of candy down the chute so that it would go right into your bag at a more than social distance space. I think this is the one. I'm trying to think which one this is. I think this is the one where the pizza in right there outside of the town theater. So there was one there. There was one a little bit closer towards the pizza area that where the Frankenstein was rocking out. There was one over in the medieval area and one in a shipwreck area near Brickbeard, the pirate. It was a really great time. The lines did get a little long, but everybody was really excited to be out and about in their costumes and their matching masks.
And how did they deal with the lines? Because I take it was socially distanced, right?
Yeah, they had little spots on the ground where people waited in their kind of area. And, I feel like the social distancing is kind of like a domino effect. That's the shipwreck area. Because if one person does it, then, more people do it. And you get a good amount of candy when you go to these stops. I know this is more akin to like a SeaWorld than a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party where like you could really like rack up the candy. But, for it being included in admission, I think it's a great amount of candy, and it's a great thing to be able to do because I know not a lot of neighborhoods are doing a lot of the Halloween goodness that you'll usually see.
And from the looks of it, this is Dave and Nan's candy. It looks like they got plenty of candy.
It does. I like the Sour Patch. I always steal those, the Sour Punch straws. I'm that mom. I take that from Zoe. I'm like, you won't like those.
All right. Well, let's go to Shelley for her question. I don't know if Dave's going to successfully rejoin us. I asked him to text his answer so we can at least try to jibe with Dave. I'm going to put up Shelley's question here, which was this one, number 43, right?
Yes.
You got the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea question. Rumor has it that Lin-Manuel Miranda is collaborating with Alan Menken on a new live stage musical based on Walt Disney's classic film adaptation of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Blanca Musical Voyage is its working title. Shelley, what is its working title?
Finding Captain Nemo.
Finding Captain Nemo. Very clever, very clever. All right.
Very clever.
Let's see. We've got Maui's Hook. We got the Singing Sea Monster. We got the Nautilus, which I was thinking of. We got Nautilus. We got my father's take on Hamilton, Seamilton. And we've got Nautilus. And I think that might be it. So I like that Finding Captain Nemo. Oh, wait, was there another one? No, there's not. That's it. All right. So what else do we have? Mr. Chris Berry, what did you say the musical's name was?
I thought like your father, and I went with Nemilton.
There we go.
Terrible word.
Give my dad a point. Todd Pickering, what do you got?
Well, I was going to put Oklahoma, but you gave that away.
Best answer ever.
Wrote Oklahoma.
Flash.
Splash.
Splash.
That's a good one.
Exclamation point.
That's a
Exclamation
Disney.
point.
That's a Disney film. Yeah.
Kind of a
Pernick, what do you got?
Well, we know what Manuel Miranda likes the one-word titles, and considering his Disney work, I put Nemoana.
Oh, good.
See?
That's the answer of the night.
Solid mashup.
Lisa, what do you got?
Nautilus.
Nautilus.
Hey.
Aaron, what do you got?
A little different route, but
The Little Hamilton. All righty.
She
I
worked.
think that's all for that round. I don't think Dave has texted me his answer, and he clearly hasn't made it back in to the
That
studio.
12-point first round just shook him.
All right, I get, and it
Yeah.
just probably knocked his internet completely kablooey.
It's
Wait. Oh, he gave me his answer. All right, what question number did Dave have? Somebody help me with
Dave
that.
had 63.
63.
63. Number 63. All right, number 63. I will put on the screen. Legend says that Walt Disney originally wanted to name Mickey Mouse Mortimer. OhMyDisney.com says Mortimer later became the name of one of Mickey's rivals. Makes me wonder if Princess Anna's first love, Prince Hans, who, spoiler alert, turns out to be Frozen's bad guy, was the original name considered for blank. And I will show the camera, if I can, my iPhone with Dave's answer, since we can't have Dave show his.
We trust you.
He
Yes.
said Olaf for 63.
Mhm.
So let's see how Dave did with number 63. I got to scroll back here. We've got the Snow Monster. We've got Prince Charming. But here we've got some points. I'm going to put everybody back on the screen. We got Olaf. There's a point for Dave. Peter Pan. And I think that might be it on number 63. From the audience, Shelley, what do you give Dave?
I was writing him a message, but it says Olaf.
There's another point for Dave. Chris Berry.
Yeah, I went with the Olaf.
Olaf, another Olaf. I still have Peter Pan on the screen. There we go. Peter Pan is gone. Todd Pickering.
Well, I went with Snow White.
Snow White. Interesting. Lisa, what do you got?
I went to the other horn. Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker.
Other Han. That's awesome.
Close.
That's the best.
See, what do you got?
I said it was the inspiration for Mouse Planet.
All right.
Nah.
Good answer. Aaron.
I did Prince Charming as well.
Charming. There's a
Prince
few
Charming.
of those.
And I see Dave has rejoined us. Dave. Nope, Dave is a blank
Yay!
screen. He's a blank screen, but he scored a bunch of points in that round.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take him off the screen because it's not working. In fact, wait. I see him. Anybody else see him? Nope, I see us.
Hey, there he is.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Dave. I've given your answer. You've gotten some points, but why don't you go ahead and hold it up just for old time's sake? Olaf. Yay, Dave got a point. Give Dave another point.
1 point.
I'm giving him 2 more points.
Give him two more
Just for
points.
reconnecting in time.
You got a
But-
few.
But I'm going to spare Todd Pickering the math, and I'm going to declare Shelley our champion
Yeah.
one more time. Congratulations, Shelley. We're going to give you
It is the best.
we're going to give you the moment that you've come here for, which is our Mike Wazowski moment. If I can find it,
TV.
I can't find it. I'll give you the panda sweater in a minute.
And the sweater.
Even
There we
better.
go.
Even better.
All right, congratulations, Shelley. This is the 15th week in a row.
Pretty much.
I think I'm just going to name it the Shelley question machine. That's you
It's
know.
like that guy on Jeopardy. Whoever that
Yeah,
guy
I was
was.
gonna say, Shelley is our
Ken
Ken. Yes, you're our Ken Jennings. So
That's it.
congratulations. Anybody else have anything that they would like to share that I have not had time for? Aaron, did we cover everything travel-wise that folks need to know about going forward as we head into the special pandemic-related holiday season 2020?
Ugh.
I think we covered it all.
All right, so I put up one of your other quotes here, free quotes from Getaway. You can come through it through Mouse Planet link there, or you can just go to getawaytoday.com or call. And I hit the wrong button again. What a night. What a fabulous night. There it is, getawaytoday.com or call 1-855-GETAWAY. So, Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. It was fun having you on the show.
Yes.
Everybody else, thanks for joining us. It's been a real special week 27. Everybody stay well. Because the opening failed, that means there's no closing to the show either.
We can all sing.
We can all sing, or we can just, since Adrian's not here, watch the video one last time.
Did you hear Sizzler closed?
Sizzler closed?
They posted that again. They closed up after during the pandemic. So it became live again. Friends started texting me yet again, going, that dang thing reappeared once more.
and now where will I never go?
Exactly. I actually thought they closed in 1998.
They've been gone for years, I thought.
And but for all of those technical errors, I do have the Todd Pickering promotion, which goes like this.
I'm called Todd Pickering. Yes, that is my name. I'm here every Wednesday. I walk of fame.
So I'm going to say goodnight from Orlando and from our places around the United States. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Until we meet again, maybe next week, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Nothing else to do.
I may just take this laptop and reinitialize it or something. I'm going to show the Mouse Planet flyover video since I don't see. Oh wait, I do have an old ending, which I don't think mutes everyone's mic. So everybody be quiet. We're going to say goodbye. Wave goodbye, folks. Thanks for joining us. See you all on MousePlanet.com. Thanks very much.